Good morning, everybody. Mel Soul here on a beautiful Monday morning. And today is the 6th of November, 2017. And welcome to our Monday Rewind. And I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. This was a fantastic weekend for golf. You know, this is the beginning of the season and all the top players are not yet playing, but man, there is still some really exciting stuff going on in the world of golf. Let's start with the PGA. It was the Shriners Hospitals for Children tournament, and the winner was Patrick Cantlay. Now, Patrick Cantlay, as an amateur, he was the #1 amateur in the world for 55 consecutive weeks. And everybody thought, well, when this guy turns pro, you know, he's going to have a Jack Nicklaus type career. Well, a couple of things happened along the way. He had some injuries. In 2013, he was practicing before the start of the tournament at Colonial, and he said it felt like somebody walked up behind him with a knife and stabbed him in the back. It was just an unbelievably sharp pain in his back. And they took him to the hospital, and he had a stress fracture in the L5 vertebrae, and that took a number of years. It took at least 2 years to heal, and so he was out for 2 years. As well, him and his caddy were out, you know, enjoying the town, and his caddy was struck by a car crossing an intersection and killed. And Patrick was literally 10 feet away when this happened. Mentally, that was also devastating because this was not only his caddy, but a very, very personal friend. So he had some mental issues, you know, handling the loss of his caddy, the physical issues, and so to come back and win this tournament is just a testament to his dedication, his hard work. And he said that he had heard Jordan Spieth said that Patrick Cantlay was world top 10 material, and he said that statement gave him some belief in himself that he hadn't had to that point. And he thought, wow, if Jordan Spieth thinks I'm that good, maybe I am. And that's all it takes, is just that little bit of belief. Lee Trevino credits Jack Nicklaus with the same thing. He said he played a practice round with Jack Nicklaus, and when they walked off, Nicklaus said, when you realize how good you are, the rest of us are in trouble. And that one statement catapulted Lee Trevino's career. So the belief system is very, very powerful. For those of you that watched my Troubleshot Tuesday last week when we were talking about accuracy, I spoke about hitting a low punch shot through the trees. Well, guess what? Patrick Cantlay comes to the second hole of the playoff along with Wee Kim and Alex Chaker. Three-way playoff, and he hits his drive in the rough, and he's behind these trees, and there's water on the left near the green, and I can hear his caddy saying, you know, let's just chip out over here, and Patrick didn't even look there once. He looked through the trees, and he played that low shot that I had demonstrated, but instead of the shot I played, I had a little draw. He had to cut it to get it away from the water. So he played it back in his stance, and he kept his hands low, but he kind of cut across it slightly like that, and this ball bulleted out of there, cut away from the water, hit on the green, rolled just off the back where he managed to two-putt and win the tournament. So a really, really well-deserved win. His first on the PGA Tour, I'm pretty sure not the last. Just as a side note, another very interesting story happened in Las Vegas. AJ McInerney, if I can get his name right, he was given a sponsor's invite to play because he was involved in the shooting in Las Vegas. He was there when it all happened. Him and his girlfriend had bullets just whizzing around them, and his story was debuted on the Golf Channel last night, and a scary story it is, and he's happy to get this invite. Well, he ends up shooting, not only does he make the cut, but he shoots a 30 on the back nine in the final round to finish in the top 10, which gives him an invite into next week's tournament. So he's going to Mexico to go and play in the Mayakoba Classic. Great story. European Tour, I was watching my fellow South African, Dylan Fratelli. Dylan Fratelli, like Patrick Cantlay, was ranked at number 2 in the world for many, many weeks as an amateur, and everybody thought this was going to be the next Charles Schwartzel, the next Louis Oosthuizen, come along and play well on the PGA Tour, and it didn't happen. And it's been 5 or 6 years that have gone by, and he hasn't clicked. And then he won about a month ago on the European Tour. He won a tournament, and that boosted his confidence, boosted his belief system, and he played great golf, birdied the final hole to get into the clubhouse in a tie with Nicholas Colsaerts. Nicholas Colsaerts also playing really, really well. He decided a couple of years ago to stop playing on the PGA Tour, went back to the European Tour where he said he felt more comfortable. It was a little bit more camaraderie on the European Tour, which he felt was lacking on the PGA Tour. His game is now coming back as well. But like last week at the HSBC, Justin Rose snuck in when nobody was expecting it, birdied the last hole and won the tournament. So disappointment for the South African, but I think this is a guy that now that he's got his game going and he's got his confidence going, it's somebody we'll see more of, not only on the European Tour, but we'll see him on the PGA Tour doing well. On the LPGA, we had the Toto Japan Classic, and Chen Shengfeng defended her title. She won it last year, so back-to-back titles for the Chinese player who at one stage was world number 1. I'm going to come back in a minute to that. And she beat out Ai Suzuki, who was from Japan, and the gallery was certainly pulling for her. She played great golf. She missed some holeable putts over the back nine. She had 3 or 4 8-footers that she missed. She hit irons in there, bang, she was hitting the ball against the flag, 8-foot putts, couldn't convert. She ended up losing by 2. She bogeyed she was 1 behind playing the 18th. She bogeyed the 18th, finished 2 back. My favorite LPGA player, Anna Norquist, she finished 3rd. Always nice to see her in contention. She has a beautiful golf swing. World number 1 is going to change on the LPGA when the new rankings come out. So Sung Hyun Park, who to me is the ultimate golfer in terms of emotion. She never lets her emotions get high. She never lets her emotions get low. She plays the game, and you don't know coming up the 18th whether she shot 63 or 93. That's the way you got to play golf, folks. You've got to keep your emotions in check and play the game, and you can be as happy as you like after that final putt goes in. But she's a player that deserves this world number 1 ranking. She might become the first golfer since Nancy Lopez to win both the Rolex Player of the Year and the Rookie of the Year. She's currently number 1 in Rookie of the Year, number 2 in Player of the Year in the rankings. She's also number 1 in the money list. So a fantastic year for her. Can she put a stamp on by also winning the Player of the Year? Another victory would certainly seal that. So congratulations to her, very well deserved. Next week, the European Tour is in my homeland, the Nedbank Challenge, hosted by Gary Player at the Gary Player Country Club. And special this year, Gary Player has just celebrated his 82nd birthday. Man, this guy still looks great at 82. And he is, I think today or tomorrow, he is going to be inducted into the South African Sports Hall of Fame. He's already in the Golf Hall of Fame. I still don't understand why it's taken this long. Gary Player is definitely the best sportsman that's ever come out of South Africa. I mean, he's done more than any of the cricketers or soccer players or rugby players. He's not in the South African Hall of Fame, Sport Hall of Fame. I don't understand that, but now he will be, and congratulations to Gary. The PGA heads to Mexico for the OHL Classic at Mayakoba, a Greg Norman designed golf course. Always a fun tournament. It's more relaxed. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Hilton Head. The players go there and they're more relaxed, and they seem to have fun at Hilton Head. They do the same thing at Mayakoba. There's great food, and a great time is had by all. And then finally, the senior tour, or the Champions Tour as they call it, the Charles Schwab Cup Championship, the final event of the year. Can Bernard Langer win 4 in a row? He looks like it. He's won the last 2, so I think he's the favorite. So stay tuned next week. Last week we did power golf. This week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to do accuracy, how to keep the ball in play. I think you're going to enjoy it.